Well, I was born and raised in Wisconsin. I come from a large family. I have 4 siblings. We grew up in Green Bay, Wisconsin, in a middle-class family. My dad was a teacher. My mom raised us. It was a home that was framed in love. There was a lot of expectations. Frankly, I think that's where the foundation of who I am today came from, and really very blessed to have that as a starting point in my life. I have an amazing wife, Chris. We have 3 wonderful children. They have picked significant others that share their values, share the love of family that Chris and I have. I get a great deal of satisfaction from my personal life. And that helps me as I think about what I want and need from a professional life. But it all starts with family.
We've been married 37 years. Our whole life together, he's always been in the trucking industry. And I think it's funny because he did not see himself in trucking. When Dan was in college, he was in a singing group and did a performance towards the end of his senior year.
It was April of 1981, and our keynote speaker was Don Schneider.
And Don came up to him afterwards, gave him his card and said, "Call me, you should come work for us." And he's like, "No, no."
I didn't think I was going to get into trucking. And whether through divine intervention or perhaps the wisdom of my father, went through the interview process, was offered a job, and I started working at Schneider National in 1981.
And that was not glamorous at all. I think he was in a basement.
A far cry from the vision I had of working in downtown Chicago. During that time, however, I really became addicted to trucking.
He just grabbed onto it, and he just knew he wanted to do something more and more and more, and that's what he's done.
And during those times, those early days of me being in trucking, when there wasn't technology, there wasn't satellite communication, you pick up the telephone and you could have a driver that was angry because he couldn't find a trailer, or you might be picking up the phone and there was a tragic accident that an officer was trying to get information. So during that time, I learned a great deal about trucking, and probably the most important thing I learned about trucking is that I love it.
Dan is ready for the role. He'll be great in it, given the broad experience he's had for many years in our industry. He's seen carriers large and small, but probably most importantly, he truly believes in the mission of not only our company, but our entire industry. So to have someone represent our industry with that level of passion for the work that we do and the importance we play in our economy is just a great fit for him.
We think it's pretty fitting that the first chairman from Iowa for the American Trucking Associations is somebody from Ruan.
I think it was 1942 where our founder connected with some other executives in Iowa, and they all chose through that meeting to form the IMTA.
In fact, Ruan is the longest paying dues member of the Iowa Motor Truck Association.
So whether it be the IMTA, the ATA, other associations, over our 90 years, we've continually stayed closely involved. And given how fragmented our industry is, we need to come together, speak with a single voice, ensure that the regulations that govern how our industry operates are well thought out, are fair, and are supportive to the success of all of the motor carriers in our industry today.
They believe in the collective voice, they believe in a unified message, they just believe in what associations do. So to have Dan serve in this role, representing Ruan, is something very special, and we're really proud that he is going to be representing Iowa, but more importantly, be a voice for the entire nation and for the entire industry.
My dad is one of the hardest working people I have ever known in my life. With each project, with each job, he invests himself in it fully. I know that he will bring that same focus and dedication to the ATA.
You've always been so dedicated to your career, and you always give 100%, which is why you're here today.
A great leader is a culmination of a lot of great traits. One that stands out the most for my dad is his integrity. His honesty and his strong connection to his values have always been his foundation. He is motivated and he drives impact with his values at the forefront. My dad is reliable, dependable, and people can trust him and his guidance.
The motivation for me to come into work every day is really driven by this purpose I think after almost 42 years in this industry, I've come to recognize the broader purpose of what we do. And we truly deliver freight, we deliver information, but more importantly, we deliver a standard of living that frankly is the best in the world. Now that seems a little grandiose, it seems a little aspirational, but the reality is that's what we do as an industry. And I've come to appreciate that in order to do those grandiose plans, you have to be able to come in every day, work with people every day, support people, offer guidance, and be able to solve problems. And it's that tactical, everyday satisfaction that is really tested against the broader mission, the broader purpose. And I just get great joy in doing that.
We've gotten to see how he leads in our organization and the effect that he's had on our culture, on all of our people, because of who he is and how he cares.
He's just a servant leader. He's a very good people person. And I think more importantly, he truly believes in the mission and the work of associations on the state level and on the national level. So he will be a rock star. He will just be wonderful.
While we have incredible technologies and we've advanced in so many ways, in the end, this is an industry that's still enabled by people. It's about having relationships. As I look ahead to my year as chair of ATA, I guess I'd ask all of us, all of you, to think about what we do. Think about the importance that we play. Think about the impact your companies, your employees, your services have on our country. The standard of living we enjoy, the benefits that we enjoy, the freedoms that we enjoy, what we do every day matters. And so as I look at the next year, I'm going to be focused on making sure that everyone understands that inside of trucking and out. That will motivate me. And I'd ask that you all join me in making sure that we share with this great country what ATA does, what our industry does, and the impact we have on our country.